all three of Pittsburgh's teams. I'm obviously not at every one of their games. There's overlap. So the other day I'm covering the hockey game up at PPG Paints Arena, and I'll always keep a corner eye, on whatever else is going on. So I have the Pirates game sitting on my laptop, meaning through our live file that we have, our reporters have on DK Pittsburgh Sports, and I see that Matt Gorski's hit a home run. I don't think much of it. Gorski's got some power. No big deal, right? Later on, Gorski hits a grand slam in the same game, and I went, oh, no. Good morning to you. Good Tuesday morning. I'm Dejan Kovacevic of DK Pittsburgh Sports. This is Daily Shot of Pirates. It comes your way bright and early every weekday. If you're into football and or hockey, I also offer daily shots of Steelers and Penguins in the same place that you found this. Now, why would I have that reaction? Okay, I'm going to do this without being mean, but Gorski's 27 years old. Gorski strikes out once every 3 times he steps into the box. And Gorski has done that at every level, which is why it took him as long as it did to get to AAA, something he only cemented last summer. Now, he's got some positive traits. He's got power. He's hit home runs at every level as well. He's also defended well, really, really good outfielder, and he's capable of performing at other positions as well, which is a really good thing when you're 27 and you're still in the minors. But this was 2 years ago in Bradenton, on a bit of a Gorski expedition. Talked to him for a while, talked to some coaches, talked to one of his teammates, Jack Sawinski, who really just swore by him, said this guy is major league material all the way. Okay, great. All sounds good, and the home runs look good. But unless you take care of the underlying issues, things that are not obvious through results, then you're not going to progress. And I use this as my annual warning to everyone about spring training results. And I don't just mean the scores, although heaven knows there are people who actually look at the scores. If you've ever been to a spring training game, whether it's Grapefruit League, Cactus League, whatever, doesn't matter what the team is, doesn't matter where it's happening, you will witness with your own eyes only about 100 different things that make you understand why this doesn't matter at all. Not really from the individual standpoints, and not at all from the collective standpoints. These big rallies that happen in the 8th and 9th inning, they happen because everybody's got their scrubs out there. Everybody's got their 94 jersey numbers and no names on the back. And if all you find out about by evening's end, they show 30 seconds of highlights on the 6 o'clock news, assuming the 6 o'clock news is still a thing. If it is, I haven't turned my television on to a local channel in forever, I swear. But if it is, that's what you'll see. You'll see number 98 or whoever hitting the ball over a palm tree in Bradenton, and you'll see Pirates beat the Yankees, and you'll go, whoa, man, we're beating the Yankees. And it's just no, okay? And no, almost across the board to the individuals, beginning with the example I gave of Gorski. If you're a regular at spring training, or if you just follow baseball very, very closely, you will know that pitchers, all of them, not just the starters, not just the relievers, all of them will get going by focusing on no more than a pitch or two. Almost all of them will attest to that afterward. And in some cases, they're going to throw more of a project pitch than they will their main arsenal. They want to see how it looks. They want to see how it feels. They want to see the shape. They want to see the effectiveness. They want to see what kind of swings they get at it. They want to see how a batter will respond to seeing that pitch after seeing a certain other kind of pitch just before that. Translation, they're not trying to get people out. If they do, yay. If they get hosed, if they have 2/3 of an inning next to their line score and they're out because of a really low pitch count, which is what everybody has at the outset, they couldn't care less. I mean, they couldn't care less and neither could anybody else in the organization, nor should they. This is the time of spring training to do that. Now, in turn, the hitters, they're going to enjoy this because they're more often than not either seeing somebody just throw straight fastballs just to get loose. A lot of veterans will do that. Or they'll run into a starter who might be throwing his fifth or sixth best pitch or something he's just trying. Because of that, the hitters will know that they didn't do anything particularly special, even on a day when they hit 2 home runs, one of them being a grand slam. If someone like Gorski wants to show management that he's really advanced, he's a different guy this year, what he can do is see more pitches. What he can do is not swing and miss at so many pitches. What he can do is hit the ball the other way. And those will be things that should catch the eyes of the coaching staff, the manager, and other evaluators. So don't get too stoked, or actually don't get stoked at all by results. Get stoked when you see, hear, or read more detailed accounting regarding a very, very specific improvement. Because as one person told me, this person was associated with the Pirates quite some time ago, but I never forgot it. And he actually meant this in a mean, vindictive way because he didn't like me at all. At least didn't like my reporting, right? He said, "You have no idea what it is that you're watching. Your eyes are lying to you all the time." I'll be damned. I mean, he was right. I didn't like him either, okay, but he was right. When you see that Henry Davis had a double in his first spring game and you get excited about that, and then Henry tells everyone afterward that was my only bad swing decision of the day, based on the pitch that I got, based on its location, based on the type of swing that I took at it. It was a bad move on my part. He knows that. They know that. We don't. Until they bring it up. When we come back, J1Q.
It's Gun Storage Check Week. Help prevent unwanted access to your firearms. No one wants their unsecured gun to be used in an accident, a suicide, or a crime. Use lockboxes, safes, and locks to secure your firearms. Learn more at gunstoragecheck.org. That's gunstoragecheck.org. Brought to you by NSSF, the Firearm Industry Trade Association.
Today's J1Q comes from Alex Correa, who says, DK, if you look at the Pirates' brutal schedule over the first 30 days, could this season be over before it even begins? Anybody who thinks that Alex might be exaggerating there is in for a rude awakening if they look at that schedule. This is, by the way, the time of year when people actually start doing that. The schedule itself comes out the middle of the previous season. You know who you're playing, when you're playing them, what order, everything. And I believe since then that the schedule looks even tougher when you weigh which teams have done the most to make themselves better over the offseason. Of course, the Pirates do not qualify in that category since they barely lifted a pinky finger. Out of this group, out of this schedule, they start off again, as they did last year, with 4 games in Miami. I covered those 4, and they were all wins, and everybody left there feeling at least like, hey, maybe they're going to be, decent this year or something. The Marlins still aren't going to be all that great, so you do have a chance to get off to a nice start there. From there, they stay in Florida. They go to the Gulf Coast and play the Rays up in the Yankees spring training home. There'll be 3 of those games. The Rays are the Rays. That's going to be tough. They come home. They have 3 games against the Yankees and then 3 against the Cardinals. I don't know how good or bad or whatever the Cardinals are going to be, but they're going to be better than the Pirates. Then 3 in Cincinnati, which is probably as close as you can reasonably come to looking at anything on this schedule and saying that's a, quote, easy game, or for that matter, the 4 right after that against the Nationals, who aren't going to be appreciably better, and they were bad last year. But, ready? Buckle up. 3 against Cleveland. 3 in Los Angeles. First against the Angels and then against the Dodgers. Anybody who knows how the Pirates fare in Dodger Stadium know that that's going to be really, really, really challenging. Then come 3 against the Cubs, who some people are thinking are going to be one of the better teams in all of baseball. Then 3 against the Padres, who are always one of those. Then the Cardinals again. Then the Braves. Then the Mets. Then the Phillies. And I just took you to the middle of May. I took you to May 18th. That's tough. So it's not just 30 days. It's a month and a half in there. Now, if you're going to be fortunate from the Pirates' perspective in any facet, it's going to be that you have the best possible chance of having your starting pitching being healthy early on. It's only later in the season that you start running into guys missing time here or there, and then you have to start dipping into the minor league system and calling guys up and using bullpen guys as openers and all kinds of other stuff that almost always leads to a loss. You're at least going to have, knock on something, Paul Skeens, Mitch Keller, Jared Jones, however else the rotation ends up rounding out. But my goodness, it could be over rather soon. And if you ask me what that means toward management, towards the coaching staff or whatever, you know what? After the way this past season ended and after Bob Nutting did nothing, I'm all out on that front. I have no idea what it would take. I appreciate the question. I appreciate everybody listening to Daily Shot of Pirates. We'll do another one of these tomorrow.